Hello, everyone. Welcome to Health Talk. I'm Evelyn Hatfield.
And I'm Vicki Graham.
Today, we have a very exciting topic to share some important strategies given that the holidays are coming up. And we have Nakia Speller with us. Nakia is the Supervisor for Supportive Services with the Area Agency on Aging. We'd like to welcome you today.
Thanks for having me here.
Okay. Before we get started, if you could tell us a little bit about what you do at the Area Agency on Aging.
Okay. I am the Supportive Services Supervisor with the Prince William Area Agency on Aging, and our goal there is to work with older adults and their caregivers to link them to community services and resources that will enable them to be able to remain in their home long term. Most people might be familiar with the Meals on each side of the county in Manassas and in Woodbridge. Both of those programs are run out of our senior centers. We also have the adult daycare program, which targets individuals with cognitive impairment such as dementia and Alzheimer's. And we also have supportive services specialists, which is a small group of 4 social workers that go assess older adults and their needs. Sometimes individuals may need assistance in the home, so we will refer and connect them to a home health agency that may be able to help them in the home. They may also need a light meal, so we will refer them to our Meals on Wheels program. And then we also have some individuals that, through no fault of their own, may not be able to live independently in their homes anymore. So in that case, we would work to find them an assisted living facility that they may can transition to, or
Okay, thank you for that. That's a lot of important information
yes.
because sometimes we assume that people know what the Area Agency on Aging is, but it sounds like you guys do a whole lot of different things.
Yes, we do. We've been in the community for over 30 years. We're in all 50 states, and we're here to help older adults in their before is to keep people in their homes as long as they possibly can, as long as they're safe in doing so. So that's what we're there for.
Good services.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. When we think about the holidays, we typically think about family, fun, gifts, excitement. But we know that it can be a stressful time for people. Why are the holidays so stressful?
I think the holidays can be really stressful because of the hustle and bustle of it all. A lot of us are already, have a lot going on with work, or we're managing families. And so to add the holidays on top of that, we have the pressure sometimes of buying gifts for people. We're entertaining. There's parties to go to normally around the holidays, and we're trying to figure out which ones to go to, whether it's personal or professionally. At work, we may have a ton of parties that we're trying to get ready for. Sometimes we are traveling for the holidays, and we know traveling can add extra stress, especially with the traffic situation being the way it is in this area. And then if you're entertaining guests for the holidays, preparing your own home to take on more guests than you're accustomed to can be very stressful sometimes. So, yeah.
I know you mentioned the parties.
Yes.
To me, sometimes for me, that can be a really stressful time, because especially when the work parties, there's
Yes.
one this day and another that day, and that can be, I decide I don't want to go.
I think that's okay. I think, trying to manage your expectations, your own expectations, and maybe the office, your coworkers' expectations, having that conversation, letting them know early on, hey, I'm not going to be able to attend all of the parties. Maybe I can come to one, or I can send something instead of being physically there. I think what we have to do is focus on ourselves and self-care during the holidays. And sometimes, excusing yourself from the party better for your health than going and having all of the stress and anxiety of attending the party that you really don't want to be at. Yeah.
I like the idea of setting limits because
Yes.
there could be office parties and then there are home parties. This friend is having one and that friend is having one, and it can be somewhat overwhelming.
Exactly. Who to choose and who to go to. Sometimes if I don't go to this one, then this person might get mad, or my church is having an event, and I have the financial pressures of buying for this person or not for that person. So yeah, I think setting those limits is a great thing, and then letting your expectations be made known, having those conversations earlier on.
Okay.
definitely help.
Okay. So what you're saying is it is okay, but it sounds like I just have to let my wishes be known.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So it sounds to me that holiday stress is normal, just
Yes.
based on what you said.
I think the holidays offer a lot of reasons to be stressed out or for us to our anxiety levels to increase. As I mentioned earlier, we have our lives that are already and already going or in swing, and we kind of have a routine already set for our. Think so sometimes, and then to add all of the holiday things that come along with it, like the parties that we just mentioned, the gift buying
gift.
and giving, and like I mentioned before, preparing for family, whether they're coming in or whether you're going out. Financial pressures of all of that, trying to accommodate everyone and keep everybody happy, can all make for a very stress-ridden holiday. So yeah, I think it is very normal.
And just think about it, if people who have very large families and they
Yes.
have, say they have 10 or 12 grand, they feel like they have to buy each one something. And
Yeah.
that can be a little hard.
Yes, can be
Very
hard,
hard.
and yep, and daunting. And then I would say, having that conversation about expectations where gift giving is concerned. If it's you need to set a financial limit or it comes to gift giving, or then you may want to try something new and find new and different or innovative ways to buy gifts, or maybe you don't have to physically or spend money on a gift, but maybe give the gift of your time, or having creating an activity and having family come over that may having setting those limits and expectations ahead of time will give room for less stress during the holidays.
Yeah, I like that because you talk, I think the expectation around the holidays has been to give money or gifts, because if someone gave me a gift that was worth something, then the expectation is for me to give them something back. But what I hear
Exactly.
and that to me can make it difficult for me to manage my stress, because I'm stressed out about how do I pay for this. But what I hear you saying is that
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Yep.
If you watch TV, you see all those advertisements, and they make you feel as if you don't do this, then it's not
Right.
appropriate.
Exactly.
And so their prime objective is to get you to spend that money. So I appreciate what you said. If you decide ahead of time what your budget
Yes.
is and can confine yourself to that, it's helpful.
Exactly. I think it's extremely helpful. Letting people know that it's okay for them to, expectations. I think it's also a great way to bring in other ideas and things. Like I said, you could bake cookies. A lot of times I've always, and personally I've said, you know what, instead of buying me a gift, I would rather have your time. So maybe can we go out, instead of buying a gift, can we go to a movie? Can we do something that, is very cost effective? Maybe we can do something free, ride around and see the holiday lights or tree trimming service or something in the neighborhood or near you. There are a lot of things that people can do that don't have to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah.
They're able to identify those kind of earlier on. That will hopefully eliminate some stress for them.
Good, good.
So we already talked about some of the causes of, holiday stress. And could you talk a little that stress might look like, how it might manifest itself? So maybe if you're sensitive to what's going on, you can sort of stave off some of the really bad, worst parts of it?
Sure. Physical symptoms of stress can manifest themselves in ways such as, headaches and body aches. A lot of tension in our necks and shoulders and our upper and lower back. We can have difficulty sleeping at night. We can be irritable, which makes it difficult to be around people, especially, at work and definitely at parties. So if you're not feeling well, stress can definitely leak over into our other areas. We may be more susceptible to colds and different things. And when you're not feeling well, it's hard to kind of be in the midst of people partying or, being around family and still being, able to be enjoyable and enjoyed.
Could we talk just a little bit more about the expectations that sometimes what we want from other people we may not get? I mean, not all families are the Hallmark card families, so is there some way that we could handle those kinds of things?
I think if, you have, whenever possible, talk about it. Talk to, if you do have family and friends, just having the conversation early on. If you don't have family, some people are very isolated. I know with older adults and the seniors that we work with, social isolation is a huge problem and issue. That's one of the reasons why the work that we do is so important. Our Meals on Wheels volunteers actually go into the seniors' homes each and every day, 5 days a week, by providing a meal. So they're another set of eyes in the home. And so if they're able to see a senior that's socially isolated, then they contact us as social workers, and we're able to go into their homes to see if we can bring some other resources into the home, especially if they're unable to come out. Senior Link is a great resource in our community, which is a telephonic reassurance system. We can have people call and just be a friendly caller. Hello, how are you doing? And we may even schedule one of those during the holidays if they're socially isolated. And then we also have our senior centers that offer a congregate meal each and every day at lunchtime. And so for those individuals that aren't homebound and can get out, that's a great way to meet people and kind of, in meeting people, that can kind of become like a surrogate family. Family doesn't have to be blood-born. It can just be people that you meet and that you talk to every day. So those are some of the things that we do in our agency to try to stave off that social isolation, and hopefully, even in all of that, letting the expectations be known that, hey, somebody is here and available to talk to you, and you can, we can reach out to you if that's what you like.
And I'm guessing they have programs at the senior center during holidays where...
Several programs. There is a monthly calendar that the senior centers have. There's one in, again, a senior center in Woodbridge and one in Manassas. They have a whole host of activities that are held during the holidays, holiday parties, and with great food and activities. So anyone that's interested, they can call the senior centers to get more information. There's also even limited transportation available, and they could talk with one of the site managers there to get information about that too.
Okay, and we'll have the telephone number at the end of the show, so people will have that information.
Yes, and I'll give it now. The number is, if you want more information about the senior centers, 703-792-6374.
Okay. Something you mentioned as you were talking, I was thinking about people who are homebound and can't get out, and you mentioned other ways that you could give gift giving, and I was thinking, going out and visiting a senior who's homebound and providing that companionship. It might be a good way to, engage people, and I see it as being helpful for both of you.
Yes, that's an awesome idea. Sometimes we think that a gift, or has to be has to have a monetary value attached to it. But visiting a senior, whether they're homebound or in a nursing facility or assisted living facility, that's a way that you touch them, and they're actually touching you, so you're giving back. Definitely. A great idea if there are children, small children involved, that intergenerational connection that's made wonderful. There. We do have activities that we do. So during the holidays, we have wonderful civic groups and organizations that love to give back. So most of the time during the holidays, they want to give gift baskets and those type of things. So especially throughout the holidays, I would say Thanksgiving and Christmas, somebody is thinking about them, and then a basket of some sort is being dropped off or donated to the seniors. But that's a great idea, Evelyn.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I just wanted to ask you, do you have any additional techniques? I know you've given us a lot to think about, but anything else that you like to, you mentioned setting a budget and realistic goals, anything else that perhaps might be key to making it a little less stressful for people?
I cannot stress keeping the expectations manageable. I think if you are talking with your family members or coworkers early on, you may become a broken record, but then at the end of it, you save yourself stress and time because you've already made your wishes known. I think another thing that's really important is setting a pace and for yourself and organizing your time. Prioritize what's important, what's most important. What activities do you find most important? What parties would you like to go to? What family would you like to be around? I think we should try to be around people that make us feel good and create a positive atmosphere that, bring us the most joy. It's kind of hard to be in a place that you really don't want to be in. And that's why I said don't force yourself to go somewhere that you really don't want to be because you're not going to be any fun for them and you're not going to enjoy it yourself. Like I said, try something new, especially around gift giving. Home goods, baked goods, or those things. I mean, I love food, so
Cookies. And
cookies or a pie or something. Definitely, the volunteer idea is great. Maybe at a soup kitchen or a volunteer, some type visiting an older person that's unable to get out. And then one thing that I think probably is most important, since we're talking about self-care, is set aside time to recharge your own batteries, whether it's getting up a few minutes early in the morning and take time, whether you meditate, whether you just take time to look over your task or your to-do list for the day, or either setting some time after work or, right before you go to bed to kind of reflect on what you've done and what you have forward. I think we can never set enough time for ourselves to kind of recharge and, so that we can have a clearer head for, the day ahead.
I like that. It's so important to take care of yourself as well, because we're always giving.
Yes.
We're kind of at the end of our show, and so I wanted to just give you an opportunity to share. You share some resources, Area Agency on Aging. Anything else you'd like to add?
Yes. If anyone feels, the holidays will bring stress out of anyone. And if you're already suffering from a stressful day or stressful situations in life, you can always call the ACTS hotline at 703-368-4141. The Senior Link number is the same for older adults that might need some telephone reassurance, somebody just to check in on them. 703-368-4141. And again, the Area Agency on Aging. Even beyond the holidays, if you're an older adult and you're interested in the Meals on Wheels program or anything you've heard me talk about today, or attending the senior center or the transportation, you can call 703-792-6374.
Okay, great. And I would like to add that sometimes that it could end up being more than just holiday stress. Some people suffer from severe depression and also may have suicidal thoughts. And in that case, if they need services, it might be helpful to give them the number to Emergency Services with the Community Services Board, and that telephone number is 703-792-7800. But thank you so much. We've had a wonderful time today and really good information, given that the holidays are coming up real soon.
They're on us.
And so thank you again. And I just thank all of you for joining us today.
We hope your holidays are good.